Hey, Superphiz here. It has been a long time since I've done a State of the Stake. I don't really even know if this is called State of the Stake. I just got to the shower and I was like, I should really do it. I'm visiting people, so there's a dog and yelling people in the background. But I wanted to kind of go over this thing. Um, I don't want to talk about why I haven't done State of the Stake. It just hasn't been on me. But I have had this thing that's kind of getting to me that I want to talk about, and it is the progress of the beacon chain. There are so many different terms swarming around that it can be really difficult to keep track of what's going on with the beacon chain and what's the status. So, as you probably know, the beacon chain is running very well. We continue to have an issue with client diversity, and we're looking at ways to improve client diversity primarily through working, from my end, by working with Colfax and Stakehouse. We have onboarded a lot of developers there who are striving for a December goal to release a multi-platform GUI client. I don't exactly know how this is going to unfold, but I do have so much faith in Colfax and that team, essentially to lower the bar to access staking at home. And beyond that, to switch clients, which is really a big deal. I hear a lot of people like, hey, Superphiz, why do you think client diversity is so low? Well, client diversity is low because switching is hard. When you learn one staking platform, like you learn Prism, you're afraid to stop what you're doing and switch to Lighthouse, or switch to Teku, or switch to Prism, because of that risk involved. Like, you got it running once. Why would you take a risk on setting it up again? I totally get that. And that's one of the reasons I'm like screaming, hey, we need to make transferring clients easier. Don't let anyone put that onus on you as an end user. You've done your work. I'm so glad you're staking. If you haven't started staking, please join us. But the onus for client diversity really lies in graphical, easy-to-use clients that make client switching easy. And that diversity also lies with pools who have typically chosen the easiest route. So maybe they're using the same client they started with, and those pools really account for a large market share of staking client diversity. So I don't want you to give up, but I don't want you to feel like it's on you. It's really on maybe the developer community, the open source developer community, places like Stakehouse who can help bring you a better product. And there are several groups working with Stakehouse right now. I don't want to go too deep into that because I really want to refer you over to Colfax and Stakehouse, but they have a lot going on, and I really feel like by December, whether or not they meet this goal, I really think they're going to have a lot coming out. But the thing I wanted to talk about is what's going on with the beacon chain. So the beacon chain is humming along, and as you know, in the London upgrade, or you may know, I don't know, there was an EIP to delay the difficulty bomb, which is a thing that kind of slows the Ethereum network down. And that thing was delayed until December 1st. The difficulty bomb is a thing that kind of forces developers to do occasional upgrades. Without that, it would be so easy to put off upgrades longer and longer and longer. But with that difficulty bomb, it means something has to be done. Whether or not improvements are included, that's up for debate. But the simple fact is, a upgrade has to be done when the difficulty bomb goes off, and that's set for around December 1st. And so in the week or two after December 1st, the network will slow to a crawl if it's not upgraded in some way. Now, that December 1st date is very interesting because you'll see that the beacon chain merge also has potential to happen December 1st. And what we saw today is the Prymont testnet for the beacon chain was upgraded to the Altair hard fork. Now, this is a big deal because it's the first test of upgrading the beacon chain. I try not to use the word hard fork, but that's what it is. Hard forks scare people. I will probably always choose to use the word upgrade. But Altair is the first upgrade to the beacon chain. And what the developers need to know, what the implementers need to know, is that the chain can be upgraded. There will be issues, there will be upgrades, and what they need to do is know that that process for upgrading the beacon chain is smooth and seamless. And so that test went off a hitch today. Altair was implemented on the Prymont testnet. Now, Prymont has been around a long time, and with this upgrade, Prymont is officially being deprecated. So if you're using Prymont, nobody can kick you off because we're on a permissionless network, but you shouldn't expect to see any more upgrades to Prymont. However, if you're interested in testing the new Altair fork, which honestly as an end user, you're not going to see any difference. It's just whether or not the upgrade went off. You can still try try Prymont. I really wouldn't suggest it, but so for all intents and purposes, Prymont is now gone. It has been upgraded to Altair, and you can forget it. And to give you some vocabulary, Prymont is the old testnet for the beacon chain. Altair is the name of the first upgrade being added to the beacon chain. So Altair will be added to all of the chains, and Prymont was just first. The next testnet is Prater. Prater is the current live testnet for the beacon chain. So let's say you want to be a validator, you would spin up a validator on Prater to test first. Prater is primarily run by the implementation teams. So like each implementation team has 1,000 validators running. The purpose of that is so that the community won't abandon validators and essentially break the network. So we can know with pretty good certainty that nothing the end user base will do will destroy Prater. So play with it, have fun, create validators on it. You do need Goerli Ether, and that is testnet Ether to run a validator on the Prater testnet. And Goerli is the testnet for ETH1. So essentially you get 32 Goerli Ether, and then you deposit that to the contract on the Prater testnet to then be a validator on the Prater testnet. Now, Goerli is a little scarce right now, and I think the best thing to do is maybe check out one of the faucets or find a Goerli whale, or if you hang out in one of the Reddits, maybe like EthStaker or ETH or in the EthStaker Discord, you can become known enough that someone will share Goerli Ether with you. Because of the farming problem, you kind of have to have some bit of a personal knowledge or connection in order to get it. That's not hard. Just get to know somebody, make yourself known, and you can get Goerli Ether. I think the Muddit faucet for Goerli is still running. So that is all about the Prater testnet, which is the current main testnet for the beacon chain, and it is expected to be a long-lived testnet. So you can expect Prater to run at least a couple years. And the next step will be running the Altair upgrade on the Prater testnet. Since Altair went fine on the old Prymont testnet, the next step will be to run Altair on the Prater testnet. And after that's successful, then the Altair upgrade will be run on the beacon chain mainnet. Now, the next step down the road from that is the merge, which, as I said, does have the possibility of happening in December of 2021. That's in 4 months. Now, here's the thing. In my mind, the boxes are checked and they do line up. The reason I don't think it's going to happen is because, in my experience, so this is not in my mind, but in my experience, even when all the big boxes are checked, there are so many loose ends before this kind of thing really happens. So much coordination and so much questioning and double checking and rechecking that I would be mildly surprised if the merge happened in December 2021, even though I do believe that it's possible. And so What I'm saying is the window for that merge in the most reasonable scenario is going to be, I was going to say October. There would be more signaling if it were October. So probably between December 2021 and June 2022. I think it's going to be before June, but I think it's important for us to buckle in and recognize that it can be a longer wait than we expect. It's probably going to be a longer wait than we expect. Every time the community is like, hey, we're ready, everything's done, let's do this, we always discover that the people with cooler heads find the need to dot more I's and cross more T's before these transitions go off smoothly. And I do think it's going to go off smoothly. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, that's where I am. I just wanted to kind of give this 1,000-yard overview of where we are. I don't know if I've missed doing State of the Stake. I like doing it, but it does give me a little bit of stress sometimes, and I don't want to feel pressured to do it. So yeah, I'll keep doing it when it's fun. And yeah, good talking to you all. I hope you have a great day.